Hi guys, how you doing today? Um, I wanted to talk today about being brave. I'm trying to tie the majority of my videos into safety. Um, today I'm going away on holiday with my children, and it was a no-brainer video for me because it reminds me of the fact that I know a lot of people that have vestibular migraine or PPPD are very scared to travel. Um, and it brings me back to when I was going through my healing process and me using my fears as a test. Um, and the first time I went on a plane, if you go back onto my videos from, a couple of years ago, they're a bit cringe, but there's one where I just did a little like short on how I was feeling. And at that time in the airport, kind of before I went to the airport, I was panicking, not only to fly, not only to how I would feel on the plane, but also at the other end, because it was I travelled with work, how I was going to be in meetings. So I used that whole experience to practice safety. And I was at the beginning of my journey as well. And so it was scary, but I was excited because my mindset had shifted from fear to explore and to also want to feel how I felt in the situations, to be able to not judge the symptoms, to see what would happen. And I proved mind body healing to myself, and it was so liberating that I went to the airport initially. I felt the people were around me, I felt a bit unbalanced, but I actually felt what that felt like, and I was walking through the symptom, and it would just like not get worse and taper off, and the flight was absolutely fine. um the flight was absolutely fine, and the meeting that I had when I went to the destination with about 20 other staff members, I could feel the symptoms arise. So what I did do is I went to the bathroom and I took 3 deep breaths in, held it, breathe out slowly, and just felt everything fall to the floor. I did that 3 times, and I went back in there and I was fine. And it was because I told my brain I was fine, it didn't come back to the extreme that it did when I went in the meeting initially. All of those things that I have done to create safety is the reason why now, years later, that I can live a full life. I have no chronic symptoms at all. Do I sometimes from time to time feel a bit uneasy? Yes. When I've got a lot of things going on, do I sometimes feel a bit of does my tinnitus spike sometimes? Yes. Am I chronic? No. How often does that happen? Probably a couple of times in 6 months, for not long, not even a whole day, maybe a couple of hours. But I use that as a time to really think, okay, Shan, I know my brain's trying to protect me, but I'm good. I've got this. Thank you, Lord. And I carry on. I don't stress about it. I don't fear it. I don't avoid anything. I carry on. So that chronic means continuous. It's happening all the time. To get off that chronic cycle, you really do need to work on safety, because when you do have a setback, because remember, we only have setbacks because the neural pathways in our brain, the safety neural connectors that I have created through these years are strong, and the fear scared neural connectors, which have been built up over years, which I've had in my brain, which is why I went chronic, they're weak. If anything, more or less non-existent. But the little tiny hair attaching them together now might create a setback in my life, but I deal with that differently. So while you may be having setbacks every week, every month, when you get to a place of where you've created safety and your mindset's shifted, you may get to a point where you get a setback once a year, which is a tiny setback, not a big one. And that's based on how you're responding. So safety is key. I have no concerns, no worries at all about flying or meetings or anything like that anymore, because I know that if I fear something and I'm scared of something, it is because I'm not knowing what the end goal is going to be. However, we're not supposed to know our futures. We're supposed to live in the now. So I live in the now and I carry on. So I hope this helps, and have a lovely day. And if you want to hear more about this, I've got loads of videos on my channel, on YouTube, on Instagram. Feel free to have a watch through them. And if you have any questions, you know where I am. Take care. Bye bye.